Well, we have another Tony Ferguson fight, and unfortunately for fans and of MMA and Tony Ferguson, he loses again. Nothing against Beneil Dariush, but I came into this fight wanting to see Tony Ferguson reemerge into the division, and unfortunately, or again I say unfortunately, he loses via decision against Beneil Dariush. Now during the fight, the commentators and I forget, there was another random guy that was talking. I didn't catch who it was, but they talked about how Tony, in his career, kind of lacked fundamentals, and eventually they catch up to you, or at some point they're kind of exposed. And now I agree that it might be present in other situations, other fights. But in Tony's situation, it's a little bit more unique, right? It's not a point where we see like Ronda Rousey, for example, which is kind of like the extreme. Ronda Rousey, throughout her career, especially during her ascent, she was said to have holes in her holes in her game, and in her fundamentals. However, she rose past that. She excelled so much in the grappling department that nobody really talked about that very much, because it came down to, okay, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. She's still beating these people. Now, does that really apply to Tony? I don't know. I can't really say confidently either way. But regardless, Tony went into this fight, and one of the sentiments about Tony is he's one of the toughest fighters. And I personally don't like any fighter being labeled with the toughest fighter, because what does that mean? That means that they're just able to take the most damage and survive. They're able to put stress on their body that other fighters wouldn't typically do. And we kind of saw that again in this fight, where it was a heel hook, I believe. And then Tony, you can see just by his face, he didn't really make a grimace or anything like that, but you could see where he kind of takes a second. He lays back and he thinks about what he should do. And his resort was, let me just try to kick the hands of Beneil Dariush. Now, do I think it really hurt Beneil Dariush or anything like that? Probably not. Maybe he got a little tired from squeezing and pulling, and he just said, you know what, Tony's not going to tap from this. Let me move on. But credit to Beneil Dariush. He came in there very, very motivated. Now, a lot of talk was about Tony coming in motivated, right? He's changing up stuff. He's working with Freddie Roach. He's tuning up his fundamentals while at Wildcard Gym. He's with Georges St. Pierre. But not much is talked about Beneil Dariush, who's always kind of been this gatekeeper in the lightweight division. He's right now, before the fight was completed, he was ranked 9th in the division. Now, does he really deserve that rank? Well, I would have to look through the ranks, but I'm pretty sure he's not really a 9th ranked fighter. He's much higher than that. And especially after this Tony Ferguson fight, he deserves a lot higher of a rank. Now, what do we do with Tony? I'm not throwing away Tony Ferguson and his career. 3 fights against Justin Gaethje, who just fought for the title and lost, Charles Oliveira, and now Beneil Dariush, who's probably, if you look at it on paper, is not the best matchup for Tony Ferguson. He's a high-level jiu-jitsu player who has won multiple tournaments, as you heard from the commentary, but he's also very good at his fundamentals. He has power in his hands, and he pushes forward, and he has great takedowns. Now, if you were to pick something that would beat Tony Ferguson, well, that's kind of the formula. That's what you want from a guy to beat Tony Ferguson. Now, I'm not delusional. I'm not saying that Tony Ferguson is still the undisputed champion right now. I'm just saying I'd like to see him another time. Give him another fight. As long as he wants to, right? If he wants to keep fighting, give him another fight. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the top 10. Of course, it's kind of hard to not give him somebody in the top 10, but maybe a matchup where he's not necessarily worrying about those holes being not holes, those lack of utilization in his game to be exposed, as we've seen in the Charles Oliveira fight, especially, and now in the Beneil Dariush fight. He has trouble with the takedowns. We haven't really seen that too much in the past, but he kind of has shown that he's not the greatest at stopping takedowns. So what do? Let's book him again if he wants. Of course, it's all about what he wants. So if he wants, book him again. I don't think the UFC is going to cut him. It's too soon. He has so much appeal still. People still like him, and I believe he still belongs in the top 10 at lightweight at the UFC. One more fight, and then maybe we can talk about getting rid of him, but not yet.